Welcome, Blake families. Welcome to the 6th grade and welcome to the Otter Cluster. The Otter teachers and I are super excited about this year. I know it's going to look a little different, but we're doing everything we can to make sure your child has a really fun, successful year. My name is Miss Alland, Emily Alland. I am entering into my 14th year at the Medfield Public School System. I actually did my student teaching here at Blake in the 7th grade, and then was able to get a position over at the high school. I was there for about 7 years where I taught 9th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grade. The opportunity to come back to the middle school, a place that I love, 7 years ago, and I have been teaching 6th grade ever since, and I love it. I love the age, I love the curriculum, and I love the community and the people I work with, and now you are a part of that, and it's going to be a wonderful year. To get in touch with me, the important stuff. You can always contact me at eallen.email.medfield.net. Email is probably the best way to contact me. We can always set up a time if it needs to be a phone conversation. We can set up a time via email and talk on the phone. That's my preferred method of communication. If it's not just like a simple yes or no question or like a short little inquiry. You can also, to figure out what's going on in class, you could always check out your child's Google Classroom. It's organized by in-school and remote days. So if, for instance, your child missed a day at home or in school, you can go to that specific day and see exactly what we did. Another really great resource would be the Blake Agenda. You could go there and it is laid out what our whole entire week is going to be looking at, like what our whole entire week is going to look like. We list the content and the skills that we will be focusing on. Which brings me to the actual content, what we will be learning. We are teaching ancient civilizations. So we start in Africa at the beginning of man, we go all the way up to the Middle East, and then all the way across around the world to South America. So it's a lot of content, but it gives us a lot of opportunity to do some really fun, creative things. We are working really hard to make sure all of the activities and all of the lessons are really interactive and interesting because it does look a little different than years past. So we're really trying to think outside the box for lessons to just make it really engaging. The skills that we are focusing on, we call them power standards. There are 4, and these 4 actually are the same for 6th grade and 7th grade. It's just the content, the complexity of the content increases through 6th grade and then into 7th grade. So one power standard is conduct inquiries, asking questions, especially when it comes to research. You know, what kind of questions should we ask? Why should we ask specific questions? How do we ask the questions? Where do we look for the answers for those questions? That's all covered in the conduct inquiries. We also analyze information on very regularly. I mean, it's ancient civilization, so almost everything we look at is analyzing information, right? Where did it come from? What is the context? Why was it important? What did they mean by it? Could they have meant something else by it? How is it tied to that community, that ancient community? How is it tied to modern times? There's a lot of analysis going on throughout the whole entire year. Number 3 is applying content knowledge. That's also something that we do pretty regularly. Every time we learn something new, we apply it, whether it's a product or writing or a presentation, any kind of classwork. So we're constantly applying content knowledge. And then, of course, number 4, present ideas. This is my favorite, and I think it's one of the most important. I tell the kids all the time, you're going to be presenting for the rest of your life. So we do a lot of practice with it, whether it's presenting in small groups or in front of a whole entire class, or if it's just presenting information to me in writing and drawing and speaking. There's lots of ways you can present information, and everybody can find a strength in that. So we really focus on that, and we do a lot of presenting ideas. And then lastly is the why. This is why I teach. Why do I teach 6th grade? Maybe I'm crazy, I don't know, but I love it, and it's so fun. And I just remember when I was in middle school, it's an awful, awful time. It's really hard, and to help students and to help them get through it and to help them realize, when I was in middle school, I didn't bond with the teacher. I didn't have, I wasn't like my curiosity wasn't sparked. I wasn't inspired by anything really. I was just going through the motions, and it wasn't a good experience. And I don't want that for other students. I want them to be inspired, and I want them to have fun, and I want them to love learning. And that's why I do it. I want them to see how fun learning can be and how interesting it can be. And everybody has their own area of expertise. They have their own skill that they can show and be proud of. And, you know, like a way that they learn, or a way that they show how they learn. It runs the spectrum across the board, and to be able to find success and to know that you are being understood, and to know that you are understanding the information that's given to you, and you can tell somebody or show somebody what you learned is really fantastic. And to build that confidence and be sure about yourself is really one of my major goals, and I love doing it, and it's why I teach, because everybody deserves to feel success, and everybody deserves to feel good about themselves and confident. So that's why I do it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to email me. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and have a good night, day, morning, whenever you're watching this. Have a good one.